What is going on, everybody? I am Dope, your idiot leader, and this is my dope-ass channel, Dope Comics. Today we're going to be talking Victor Crowley's Hatchet, Midnight Murders. Quick review on this book. I was not going to do a review on this book, but I'm very busy right now because this time of the year, there's a lot of horror number ones coming out. I feel like I should at least address the book. I thought that, if you support horror like I do, you need to support all the horror. And when I got into this book, it's actually, it was a fun read. It was entertaining. It was ridiculous. It was everything that you'd really want in a good slasher, fun horror book. It's not going to win no kind of awards for writing. It's not going to win no awards for art, but it's not supposed to be taken serious. But it is a good slasher book. If you're just wanting something fun to read and remind you of those old Jason days and all that silliness, this book, as I was reading it, I kept thinking back about Pacific Comics. It kept making me think back to stuff like Twisted Tales, because this was really a fun read. It took me back to my youth a little bit, we should say. Starts out with this ridiculousness. There's levels to this ridiculousness in this book. Levels of ridiculousness. This book just gets more and more ridiculous, but there's levels to it. And American Mythology did a great job. I've never really liked any of their stuff, but the quality of the paper is good. The art is great. If this crappy little company can afford good artists, I don't know why EC and Golden Key can't. But the art is great. Starts out with narration talking about how in the safari, there's always an alpha, and in the safari it's the lion, in the Arctic it's the polar bear, and in the swamp it's the crocodile. So they're riding around on this airboat, and this man and woman's going on an airboat tour, and it's just starting out with one level of ridiculousness right after another, and the dude gets his arm bit by a big ass crocodile, and you think in the swamp that the crocodile is going to be the alpha, and then all of a sudden, Victor Crowley comes out of the water and just rips the alligator in half. The art is great. The coloring's great. I was really surprised by how good the art and coloring is on this. So, that surprised me. And we're only on one level of ridiculousness. But then he rips off the alligator's head, and everybody thinks they're safe, and he takes the alligator's head and crushes a dude's skull with the alligator head. Now we're on like level 2 of a ridiculousness. And, he's just a badass guy. And then he takes the cover off of the fan, and he just throws that man in it and chops him all up. So I was really feeling like this art is great, and the story's fun. This is a busy time of the year for me because all the number ones right now are coming out for all the horror titles that they do just for these little mini-series for Halloween. And then he turns around and chops her head off. And I thought, well, where does the story go from here? But then you get this little Volkswagen driving through the woods at night, and it's got these 4 punk rockers in it. 4 punk rock guys. And you find out they're from Florida, and they're going to hide out in the swamp because the cops are looking for them. And the best way to hide out and not be seen, they say, is stay in the swamp, because everybody in the swamp minds their own business. And the first thing they do when they get to the market is steal a bunch of food and shoot the person working at the gas station's hand off. And that's a way to keep from being seen. And then they pour gas all over the ground, and you know what's coming next. Kaboom, they blow up the gas station. Of course, old Hatchet down here sees that the gas station just got blown up in his local swamp. And I think we're on level 2 or 3 of ridiculousness right now. But they're just chilling in their little shack they found. And you're like, well, I bet you they're going to get got. I bet you they're going to get got. And right, I turn the page and I'm like, well, what the hell is this? Somebody's jumping out of an airplane that's going down. And she gets hung in a tree. And while she's hung in a tree, Victor Crowley comes up. Victor Crowley's Hatchet comes up and wapow, right in his head. So another level of ridiculousness. Who are these people out in the swamp in the middle of the night in a plane, hung in the woods, getting chopped up by a giant monster with a hatchet. So the woman ends up running through the swamp till she gets to the house where the heavy metal dudes are hiding out. She knocks on the door. They're like, yeah, come on in, you beautiful babe with big boobs. She comes on in. They think, hey, it's our lucky day. We got this beautiful blonde with big boobs just knocking on the door. And she's like, what do you mean I'm not safe here? And they turn into vampires. This is like Lost Boys now. And they start chomping on her. They're eating her arms. They're eating her neck. They're eating her body. What in the hell? How many levels of ridiculousness are we on now? But they threw her body with no blood in it into the river. And she's just floating away. And she floats to Victor Crowley's Hatchet. And that's it. So I was entertained by it. I mean, it's not going to win any awards or anything. It's not freaking, greatest writing I've ever read, but it's fun. It's nothing to it. It's something that you'd pick up from week to week to just be entertained. You can't take it too serious, but if you're in the slasher movies, you don't take those serious either. I liked it better than DC versus Vampires, and liked it better than Werewolf by Night, which I read this week. Both of those had a lot more dialogue and a lot more probably depth to them, but the stories just wasn't good. This here, I was entertained, and I didn't know what didn't know what was going to happen from page to page. And hell, I didn't even know where the story was going. But this is, I'm going to give it, on the CGC scale, I'm going to give it a solid 6.0 blue label. I might pick up the next one. It's one of those things, I think this is kind of like Ice Cream Man. If you're having a short week and you want a bunch of stuff to read and there's really nothing on your pull box, pick this up. It ain't that bad. If something's good, I like to sit here and put it on my channel. I don't think this is going to get a lot of views, but for the people looking for this, they'll have something to go to, and that's what I like here at my channel. I like to do things that other channels don't do, and I don't think nobody's doing a damn review of this Hatchet. So, until next time, read your silly comics, your good comics. Just read your comics.